Hello, everyone. This is the Wrestling Lowdown Show. My name is Richard, and I'm here to review an album by WWE superstar Elias. Elias debuted on the main roster on Raw of April 2017. He basically has a short performance insulting the crowd and the current city he's in, trying to get a negative reaction every single time. His songs are always cut short as his opponent's theme music would interrupt him before he could finish his set. As someone who also plays guitar, I thought Elias wasn't that good at the very start. I wasn't sure if he didn't know how to play, or if he had some initial stage fright. Maybe he couldn't hear himself properly through the monitoring, because that makes a huge difference in performance. Maybe it was all those things combined. However, he has improved with each performance. With each week, his chords sounded more crisp and confident, while his short melodies became more creative. He's definitely a great entertainer and always keeps the crowd's attention no matter where he's at. He recently got sponsored by Fender earlier this month and mentioned in the last few weeks on Raw that he was releasing an album. To some people's surprise, he actually released it. With that said, we'll go ahead and start with the review of Elias's first album, Walk with Elias.
I'm waiting for a town that's not such a disgrace.
The album starts off with his vintage strum of the E minor chord and his iconic opening of the words, "Hello, I am Elias." He also calls himself the Drifter, which was his original moniker in NXT. The lyrics consist of disgust surrounding the cities Elias has performed in. It's probably the most aggressive singing and guitar strumming he does in the whole album. Vocally, he actually sounds a lot like M Shadows from the band Avenged Sevenfold. The song ends how it began, except the chord is strummed in the opposite direction. I thought it was really cool storytelling ending the song just like how it began, like an end of a tour from all the most terrible cities you've been to. I also really like the part in the beginning of the chorus where he uses, I believe, the B7 chord. It brings tension to the chorus and it gives it that dramatic edge.
A man comes up to me and he says he used to play guitar back in his day.
Going into this song, it's upbeat and much more comedic in contrast to the previous track. It sounds a lot like a basic clap-along song that's straight to the point. The lyrics this time are directed more at the fans. Instead of insulting cities, he's gone down to insulting individual fans that praise him. He's placing himself on the pedestal, saying his words are the only things that matter. It's a nice catchy tune, and it's a good start for setting the comedic tone for the rest of the album.
Now I'm here and nothing is the same. Oh, you're never.
So this is Elias's debut performance on the piano. It's a rock ballad parody with the lyrics stating he wrote the song on the piano just to show us there's nothing he can't do. The song ends prematurely at around 3:16, and he breaks the fourth wall by saying the words, "Bet you thought the song was over." Elias goes into the chorus one more time before truly ending the song. No false finish this time. I can feel even more of an M Shadows vibe. I wonder if he's also inspired by Guns N' Roses. Maybe he's M Shadows' long-lost brother.
There's only one option, that's to walk with me, as you don't know where you're going.
This is the last track on the album. The lyrics and rhythm is structured like most modern rock songs nowadays. The song overall is basically a loose definition of what Walk with Elias means. It is also the only track to have a guitar solo. It was nice to hear him actually play an entire solo for once as well. I definitely can hear this being used in the trailer for future pay-per-views. Maybe if he re-recorded it with full instrumentation, it could even be a pay-per-view theme song. That's it for Elias's first EP. I have to say that I'm very impressed with the overall album. The guitar sounded great, and his lyrics were appropriate to his character. To come up with this material while he's on the road is very impressive. It can't be easy to find creativity while being on the WWE tour schedule. If you were to write another album with a bit less comedy, I believe non-wrestling fans could get into it. Some non-wrestling listeners might be put off by his insulting lyrics, which would be ironic because that's what his character's all about. My only complaint about this album is that it's too short. It leaves the listener wanting more. My favorite track was the first one. It captured a bit of everything about Elias, his comedic side, his dislike of the fans, and his aggressive side that could be compared to his wrestling. It's also great because he opens the album how he opens most performances on live television. Overall, I would give this album a 4 out of 5 stars. His vocal range is impressive, but I believe that he could have pushed it a little further, possibly adding in some harmonies. I would love to hear a full band for a few songs, but I can also see how the singer-songwriter style fits his character more. Walk with Elias is available on iTunes and Spotify for anyone who's interested in listening to the album. I was definitely sports entertained. That's it for my review of the Walk with Elias EP. Thanks for listening to the Lowdown Show, and I'll be back with more wrestling commentary and content.